So I ran to the Chidilama. I said, Father, I said, this is going on, and this guy, he said, do you know that hashish is like 3,000 a kilo in New York? With that, he was sitting in a full lotus. He floated up, landed on his on his legs, walked over to me and say, "Son, Nat never can come back to Nepal. Me and you 50-50." I said, "Okay, buddy, we're 50-50." So at that point, he couldn't come back to Nepal, and I took over the scene, right? So I started sending them to every major city in America.
Were the Americans getting animals from here?
Because they were rare.
Okay.
They were unusual, and they passed customs. Basically that. So my plan was to send dogs to every city, Boston, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, San Francisco, wherever I had connections, I was sending dogs. So what happened is that I had one American guy who worked for me before, and so he worked for my friend Nat before, so he knew me, came to see me, and he decided to do this thing himself and make the money without me. So he made 2 crates with 2 Lhasa Apsos in each crate. He sent them to the airport. Right, and he was passing them, and then he offered money to customs, and customs said, "Why are you offering me money? You're sending dogs." He said, "Well, sir, there's 6 kilos of hashish in those crates." He said, "You mean Pietri's been sending those dogs for 3 years? He never paid us. Never paid us a dime." They had no idea.
Okay,
they had no idea. So he blew my cool. So I was sending 2 dogs, my dog, my collie, my black collie, and I was sending one crazy mastiff. He was nasty. They used to keep him on a chain, and he bites you, he attack, And I'll tell you a funny story about that dog, but we'll tell this story first. So I was running out of dogs, so I had to send him. I mean, those days, if you had a dog, I sent somebody to get him, what I mean? I needed dogs, I think I even got the Japanese ambassador's dog. He had some Lhasa Apsos. I sent those, So anyway, the airport, I sent 2 boxes, one going to Philadelphia and one going to Boston, right? And in those days, those crates we were sending like 10 kilos on top and 10 kilos on the bottom, like 20 kilos, right? And so those 2 crates went to customs. Customs stop them, Chidi Lama sent me a letter saying, "Son, go to your restaurant, stay out of your house until I tell you everything is cool." So I went to my restaurant, PV's restaurant, in a pure vegetarian restaurant in Asanto, and next to Freak Street, and I waited to see what would happen. So then they called me, and I had to pay 50,000 rupees, which is $5,000, and they sent me the boxes back, and I went home. Right? But then I never could send boxes again because customs knew my game.
Right. It was because of this new guy.
Yeah, this old guy who was working for my old friend.
Okay.
So I had an idea. I said, "Well, why do I need to pay the Nepali customs?" I said, "Well, we just send it from India." And I had connections with the military. And they said, "Oh, we just deliver it to you in Bombay." I said, "Okay." And I had a team, my friend Prabhaka and my other Nepali friend. He was an Indian guy. He was my Indian translator and my Nepali translator, Pietri. And I sent them along and to take care of the dogs before they were shipped, right? The one dog was a crazy dog. So anyway, I'm going to get to that. I told the Army guys, I said, I went with the Army guys. I said, when you get to customs, tell me, because I have to have my passport stamped because I'm leaving Nepal. And how can I get back into Nepal? I have a Nepali visa, but I need to get an Indian visa when I go there. And he says, don't worry, we'll tell you. Well, they're going to the jungle. There's a treaty between Indian government and the Nepali government. They can send things back and forth, military, and they're not subject to customs. So I fell asleep in the Jeep. It was a Russian Jeep. And I fell asleep. When I woke up, I was nearly in Calcutta. I was on the highway 50 miles from Calcutta. I was mad. I said, man, you got me in India. I have no visa. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, I checked into the Park Hotel. I had my team on the ground, and I had hired 2 hippies to send the boxes because you need somebody's passport. So I paid each hippie like $200 to send the dogs, right? Each dog $200, the other one $200. And so I told Prabhakar, I said, Prabhakar, this dog is crazy. He's going to cause us problems. So we made a meatball. Inside the meatball, we put some mandrakes inside. We knocked that dog out. And I told my friend on the other side, he said, when you get this one you keep, that's my dog. This crazy one, I don't care what you do. Shoot him, whatever. Just get the hash because he's going to attack everybody, right? So I sent my team to the airport, and he gave the dog the sleeping pills, right? And the other dog was cool, right? And we sent them to the airport, and then I went overland to Bombay, to Delhi, to wait for the message, happy birthday. When I get the happy birthday telegram, then I know everything's success.
That's
right?
a secret code for success.
That was secret code for success. But I went to Delhi, and my friend in New York said, "Man, the crate that you sent me was empty." I said, "What do you mean empty?" I said, "I packed that myself." He said, "This is empty. You ripped me off." I said, "I didn't rip you off. Something happened here." So then I had to go back to Nepal. When I went back to Nepal, I had no visa to leave India. So I had a friend of mine from the he's from he at that time he owned the Samjahana Hotel in Birgunj, and he was my family friend. And so I sent him a message that he has to sneak me into Nepal because once I'm in Nepal, I have visa, right? So he came to the Indian side, he found me, and he walked me into Nepal, where then I was cool, right? So then I went back to Kathmandu, and my other friend from California, he arrived from London the day after. He showed me the article in the newspaper, hashish running dogs. That one crazy dog, what happened was the dogs didn't make the flight the first day. They were sent the day after. Mm-hmm. By the time they were sent, the medication had worn out.
So it became active.
He ate through the crate and was loose in the cargo hold of BOAC. So BOAC could not take the luggage out. They had to call the RSPCA, come and tranquilize that dog, right? And when they tranquilized the dog, right, they put him in another crate, right? Okay. With the crate that I built, they burnt. When they burnt it, they smelt it. And that was it. I cried like a baby because it was like a Mickey Mouse. Because when we sent the dog, we would we'd call a custom broker to pick it up, deliver it to a vet. Then we watch the vet. The vet keeps the dog under observation for 2 weeks. We watching everything. When we see no police come, then we go and get it, right? So it was foolproof. So I'm like really sad because we were making, that was like once a month, 20,000. I was making a lot of money in Nepal.